श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। ஷீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதார்ய கவிதார்க்கிக கேசரி வேதாந்தாச்சார்யவர்யோ மே சந்நிதத்தாம் சதா ஹிருதி. ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம். ஈரொன்றுதோப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையாம் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே யாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
And before going to page 49, in between or among the Vedanta Deshika, there is a common thread to be understood. And the small books, these are all small books. And therefore they are called the Shillarai. Not because the secrets are small. The secrets are the greatest secrets. Whereas the books are in quantity, they are small. That's why they are called the Shillarai. Almost scattered ideas of as Keshav Swami put it rightly, this is to rather oppose and win over the other traditions which have different opinions on these topics. That is more important than. So again, when we are saying Tattva, so we saw what are the principles. So we are going to see the next one, like in the earlier Abhaya Pradhana Saram, I think 51 principles are there. And we have been going through up to 2. Now, Tattva Matrika, Matrika as we understand, Matrika being 51 letters, 51 aksharas of Sanskrit and 51 principles correspondingly. So we have the third principle. So we understand the Lord as Amalan. Amalan என்றும் சொல்லுகிறபடியே, page 49. Amalan என்றும் சொல்லுகிறபடியே. This is Nammalvar's statement, Tiruppanazhalvar's statement in Amalanadipiran. The very title of the 10 songs is Amalan Adipiran. Adi, ancient, timeless, beginningless, Piran, the great Lord. So Amalan is the first one. So Amalan, as you know, purity or pure personality. Amalam is purity. Malam is dirty. So Amalam is purity. So Amalan is pure personality. Without a speck of dust. That's the meaning. Without an iota of something wrong. He has impeccable character. That is the meaning of Amalan. So you have to look at the footnote number 1 after reading the paragraph. Adhyatmadamai, Adhyatmadamai Gunangalukkum Atishayavahamaai. So he is a great wonder. He is wonder beyond wonder. Adbhutam, wonder. Ascharyam, wonder. So Adhyatbhutam is which we cannot understand. Excessive wonder. And so what is wonderful about him? There are a lot of qualities. All the qualities are good qualities. And all the qualities are innumerable in number. And all the qualities are possessed by one single personality. And how can he show all the auspicious qualities at a time? He carries permanently these qualities. Never he transgresses his own conditions. He doesn't disobey his own rules. He is able to carry out with the auspicious qualities ever and anon. So Atishayavahama. Thiruvukkum Thiruvambadi. Now, for our understanding, limited understanding sake, we will understand Thiru as the Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi is goddess of wealth, goddess of fortune, and so on. Goddess of knowledge also. She is also equally disposed as the Lord is, namely Sat, Chit, Anandam. So all the adjectives given to the Lord Srimad Narayana applied to him, her also. She has the power of creation. She is pure in personality. She has all the qualities of unlimited number of all auspicious qualities of the Lord. But then, Thiruvukkum Thiruvam, Thiruvukku Thiruvam is Nammalvar's statement in his Thiruvaimozhi. Shrihi is the wording of Yamunacharya, namely Alavandar in Tamil, in his Stotra Ratnam. Almost the same words are repeated, meaning he is the holder of the right of the goddess of fortune. That means they are equally disposed, they have equal behavior. He is the possessor of the goddess of wealth. He is the goddess of wealth is the property of the owner, namely Srimad Narayana. In that way, you can always give very many shades of meaning to Thiruvukkum Thiruvai. She is valuable to him and he is valuable to her. She is important to him and he is important to her. She does what he thinks and he acts what she remembers. What we call there is no dual intention. It's a single intention of both, same type of thinking and so on. So, Thiruvukkum Thiruvai. It's not a question of what we call, he is the wealth of the goddess of wealth. Thiruvukkum Thiruvai. He is all the same, rather two in one. That is the meaning of Thiruvukkum Thiruvai. Nirupadhika Mangalamana Swarupati Udayavanai. His auspicious inner nature is not dependent upon any other condition, rather outer conditions. Nobody can dictate terms to him to be one day auspicious and another day inauspicious. His figure, for example, in the Archavatara in the temples, is called the Divya Mangala Vigraha. When we say Mangala, it always does good. His frame of physique will always do good. So Mangalamana Swarupattai. Swarupam we saw already. Whatever activity he does is auspicious. That is for the welfare of the entire creation. And therefore he is called Mangalam. The word Shivaha in Vishnu Sahasranamam tells you that it is Mangalam. He is auspicious. And again, the scripture, Purusha Suktam, Sabrahma Shashivasendra Sokshara Paramaswarat. The word Sabrahma is, he is responsible for creation. It is not Mahavishnu is equal to the creator or the creator is equal to Vishnu. But he does the creation through an agent called Brahma. And again, Brahma has got 11 Prajapatis, assistants to create. The portfolio is allotted to a single four-faced personality, and he in turn engages assistants to creation. So creation is done basically by only Sriman Narayana, and therefore that is Swarupam. Srashtritvam we say Swarupam. Srashtritvam, creative activity. Sustenance, as all of us know, in Trinity, the portfolio of sustenance, maintenance of the survival of the creation is dependent upon the Lord, Sriman Narayana. Thirdly, the destruction. We don't say destruction as in our Sampradaya, Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, as we understand the destruction or the disappearance of the creation is because of its oneness in the physical frame, divine physical frame of the Lord. Layaha, we say in Sanskrit. Laya. So the entire creation gets dissolved into his frame and then comes back as we call it creation. So all these activities, three activities. And again, as the first sentence mentions, he is pure. Amalatvam is there, that is the Swarupam. He is always pure, ever pure, unsullied by any negative quality. Again, Anandatvam, he is ever blissful, he is ever happy. Happiness is what not as we understand here in this world. It is a happiness beyond imagination. It's a supernatural happiness, which we cannot understand now. And Apahata Papmatvam, untouched by sins, other bad activities, by all the creations, and so on. You have so many what we call Swarupam. That Swarupam is always auspicious. So Amalatvam, Sarva Shaktitvam also, all power. So all power that he has is not ever misused. His power is not abused. Abused to harm anyone. But the questions may arise during the incidents of incarnation. Let us take them later. So Nirupadika Mangalamana Swarupate Udayavanai. So there is no condition which controls the inner nature of the Lord with its auspiciousness intact. Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Yavanavan. This is first song of Thiruvaimozhi out of the 1000 Samaveda explanation of Nammalvar. We call him like this. Bhaktamridam Vishwa Jananumodhanam. Bhaktamritam Vishwa Jananumodhanam. Sarvarthadam Shri Shatakopa Vangmayam. Sagastra Shakopanishat Samagamam. Namamyaham Dravida Veda Sagar. These are the Sanskrit adjectives that we have in the Taniyan of Nammalvar. So he is an elixir, tonic, ambrosia to the devotees, Bhakta Amritam. Now, why I say this is very important to understand how great he is, and therefore how great will his words be. The second is Vishwa Jananumodanam. Entire universal people or in the entire creation accepts him as the preceptor. The first is Lord Sriman Narayana, second is Mahalakshmi, the goddess of fortune, third is Vishwasena, fourth is Nammalvar. And he is called Vakula Bhushanaha. He is called Shatarihi. He is called Shatakopaha. He is called Shatajit. And therefore, these are some names of Nammalvar. And the second line on the Sanskrit Taniyan says, Sarvarthadam. It serves all purposes, all our purposes. Sarva Arthadam. All meaning is, comprehensive meaning is given by the Thiruvaimozhi. And then fourthly, he is, his work is called Shatakopaha, Sri Shatakopa Vangmayam. All the words are auspicious words. No word is away from the auspiciousness. Then Sagastra Shakopanishad Samagamam. The Samaveda has got the 1,000 branches. The 1,000 branches of Samaveda have got Upanishads. And it is a conglomeration, a combination, happy blend of all the Samaveda portions in the Thiruvaimozhi with the 1,000 songs of Nammalvar. And he is the ocean of the Tamil scripture. Apart from Thirumangai Alvar, Thirumangai Mannan, we say, he is the only Alvar who has composed the 1,000 songs, I think 1,013 songs of the Thiruvaimozhi. Now, he gives a question, 3 questions here. Uyarvara, Uyarnalam, Udayavan, Yavan, Yavan, Avan. So he is asking who is above all? Who is above all? That means who has no parallel and who has nobody above him. Uyarvara. Uyarvara meaning there is nobody excelling him, surpassing him. There is nobody above him. There is nobody greater than him. Uyarvara. Uyarnalam. Nalam is what we call in Sanskrit Mangalam. So Uyarnalam is the extreme goodness, rather auspiciousness, and therefore he is extremely auspicious. There is no one exceeding him in auspiciousness. Udayavan, Avan, Yavan. Who is that fellow? Meaning that the answer is Lord Sriman Narayana. And many people interpret the 4th line of this verse as it refers to Kanchipuram Varadaraja out of their affinity of the place. But Lord Varadaraja of Kanchipuram has not been sung separately and individually by any Alvar. So Uyarvara, Uyarnalam, Udayavan, Avan. We will see footnote number 2 later. Now, Anavadhika Atishaya Anandam. So his bliss is more than anybody else. And his bliss is the highest bliss. Anavadhika. There is nothing beyond this happiness, more better than this happiness. And Atishaya Anandam, it's a wonderful happiness. Ananta Kalyana Gunangalai Udayanai. So these are this is the first quality that is mentioned in this book. So Anandam is the first quality, namely Kalyana Guna, that is auspicious quality. So Ananta Kalyana Gunangalai, so he has got endless number of auspicious qualities. Ashritar Palapirappam Piravadapadi தான் என்னென்ற யோனியுமாய் பிறக்க கடவனாய். Again, Alvar's statement is Palpiravi Peruman. He has no birth. He is called Ajaha. Na Jayate. He is never born. We say that he incarnates. In incarnation also, he shows that he is born to someone. In Ramavatara to Kausalya and in Krishnavatara to Devaki. In Vamanavatara to Aditi and Kashyapa and so on. So Avatara is of course doesn't. But as we understand human beings, we cannot go beyond certain level and say he is Ayonijaha. He has no source of womb, W-O-M-B, of the human belly. And therefore, for example, Sita is Ayonija. She appeared in the sacrificial ground of King Janaka in Mithila. And therefore, he is Ayonija. So no source. No, you cannot say. Though we can say she is the daughter of the goddess of earth. We cannot say goddess of earth bore her in the womb. And therefore, he cannot be called born. He has birth. But he shows himself as being born in order to stop our cycle of birth and death. He shows to us that he is also born like us. And he is born from any source. Matsya, fish, Kurma, the turtle, the tortoise, Varaha, the boar, the wild boar, and so on. And when it comes to human beings, human-like figure, then we start with Vamana, then Parasurama, of course, Narasimha, then Parasurama, then Rama, then Krishna. So here we can understand only at the human level. We cannot go even down to the animal level, nor we can understand the God's level. So here, Palapirappam Piravadapadidan, though he is not born in any incarnation, Yannindra Yoniman. He was ready to be born in any form. Pirakka Kadavanai, he made a will that he will be helpful to us by appearing on this earth. We call it incarnation, avataraha, descent, as we say, but it is not birth. No, அவர்கள் நாட்டில் பிறந்து படும் அவை படாமைக்காக தான் பிறந்து படாதன படக்கடவனாம். Appearing in their own place, அவர்கள் நாட்டில் பிறந்து. Whoever is a devotee, and especially when there is a lot of devotees, a very large group of devotees, Lord appears there. And in Mathura, why did he come to Mathura? Why did he not appear in any other place? Because the devotees of Lord were in large number born there as the cowherdesses, as the incarnation from the gods and the sages. And therefore, he chose a place for birth. He chose a place as Rama in the capital city of Ayodhya. And therefore, avargal naattil pirandu, being one among them, becoming one among them, padum avai padamaikaga, because the people of that place suffered a lot. So in order to avoid the sufferings of the people, he didn't want to involve in the sufferings, but he at least acted as though he was suffering. Padadana padakkadavana. being born to be without any attachment to the sins committed by the people. He is born, pirandu, but he is not meant for suffering. But padadana padak kadavanai, he showed that he has been suffering all the while. Of course, there are two predominant examples, popular examples is Rama and Krishna. Rama suffered, as we say, in the forest life. Krishna, even on the day of birth, he had to travel through a river, Yamuna, and he should be shifted to another place for safety. And of course, from Mathura to Gokulam, the transfer was only for the devotees. And again, those devotees are away from Lord Krishna at the age of 16 of the Lord. So, Tan Sollitu Cheyum, Deva Prakritigalukku, Tanum Sollitu Cheyyakadavanai. The gods informed the Lord that they will help the incarnations of the Lord. They informed him earlier, they give information earlier, and this is all, of course, will of God. God also tells them, give them prior information that he will incarnate. So, Viparita Acharanam Pannam Asura Prakritigalukku, Tanum Viparita Acharanam Pannakadavanai. There are demoness characters, and those demoness characters will always misbehave, will always deviate from the normal behavior. Viparita Acharanam. They will behave differently. And when they behave differently, Viparita Acharanam Pannakadavanai. Lord will also behave differently. One example here before we go to the footnotes. Vali argued with Rama why he killed him, why he tried to kill him. There are so many points. The first point of contention that Rama hid himself and killed him is what we call is a taboo, is not true. Is not true. The only thing that he did was he didn't come before Vali, that is, he did not come to the presence of Vali and kill him. And therefore, that was. Now, again, the problem was Vali had the boon that half of the power of the enemy will come to Vali when he fights with the enemy. And therefore, nobody would like to fight with Vali. Vali had such a great boon. And again, Vali, when he argued with Rama about his killing, he did not follow 2 points. Number one, he did not pardon Sugriva. Sugriva being the younger brother, Vali being the elder brother. Sugriva, even when he prostrated, fell at the feet of Vali, Vali did not excuse him. Now, another point is when he said to when he said this when he was arguing with Rama. Rama said, "Why did you take the wife of Sugriva in your family?" And he said, "My younger brother Sugriva took my wife Tara to his family, and therefore I did. Tit for tat, I said. I did. And when I again asked why, because it is monkey's nature monkey's family habit that one's wife can be another's wife. So in this context, Rama asked pertinently that you are the elder brother, and when you are elder brother, you must behave properly and advise the younger brother. And if you repeat the mistake of the younger brother, it is not right on your part. The first point I said was he did not protect the people, rather just one fellow who fell at his feet. Sugriva, when he fell at his feet, Vali did not pardon him. And that is the Sharanagata Rakshanam was not done. Now, when Vali said to Rama that it is the habit of monkeys to do this kind of exchange of wives and so on, then he said, you are a monkey, I understand, born as a monkey. But you know, in Manushya Dharma, this is not normal. This is not normal behavior. Therefore, you are in the know of things. You are aware that Manushya Dharma is different from Vanara Dharma. And therefore, having discrimination power to understand the human rights and monkey's rights, you did the mistake. And therefore, when you opposed your younger brother without forgiving him, I opposed you at a distance. I did not hide myself. You couldn't see me, I could see you. That was it. So what I did, Viparita Acharanam. Viparita Acharanam here mentions that with understanding, wantonly, willfully, if one does the mistake, he has to be punished by the Lord by going out of the rule. Now look at the notes of A, B, C, D, and so on. So, Perumayai Tarvadai, A in the text, I would like to see the first line in the page. Atishayavahama. Atishayavahama is Perumayudayada. We look askance at the Lord. How can he do it? How can he possess so many qualities? Numberless. That is one thing. The second is it adds to his fame, it adds to his greatness. So we understand his greatness. B is Nirupadika. What we understand from the foot is Iyarkaya. That is, it is natural that his qualities are innumerable in number. At the same time, nobody can change his attitude. That is natural. His auspicious figure is unconditional, Nirupadika. And then a third C is Anavadika Atishaya Anandam here. Then in the footnote, Ellayatra Perumayude. So again, Perumai is given there, that is greatness. So we understand the word Anavadika Atishaya Anandam. The bliss is the highest bliss. And D, Ennatra, that is Ananta. And E is Ashritaha, namely Tannai Charanamadindavar. Then F, F, Piravihalai. N Indra Yoniyama. N Indra Yoniyama meaning any type of birth he is ready to take. F N Indra Yoniyama. Then Deivattanmai Udayarki G. So Deva Prakritigalukku H. Shastrathukku Viparita Chayal, Viparita Acharanam. So Asura Prakriti, Asurattanmai Udayarku J. Thimai Chayal. So in order to punish the wicked, Vinashaya Dushkrutam, he heard it in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya Sadhunam, Vinashaya Dushkrutam, we say in Sanskrit a verb, Shathe Shatyam. So when you deal with a rogue, you also be roguish. You become a rowdy against a rowdy. And therefore, so viparita acharanam, viparita acharanam. In the case of demoness characters, this is what we call swerving away from the path of righteousness, and Lord also has to cross over to this platform. Now, this is the first one, Amalanadi Piran. Amalanadi Piran, Adiyarkennai Aatpadutha Vimala. Tiruppanazhvar, as you know the story behind, he was brought up by untouchable caste parents. So we called untouchable caste earlier Harijanaha. He was found Ayonijaha. Please remember, Tiruppanazhvar is Ayonijaha, just like the Lord. He appeared in the paddy field of Orayur, and a couple childless were brought him up. And therefore he was called Dalit in the term today. And what is his purpose? What is the Lord's purpose? Panchamaha. So, ennai aatpadutha vimala. He is so pure that even if I am a dirty person, he will make me his slave. So, whenever Kon, he is the king of gods. Lord is king of gods. Whenever Kon is king. So, whenever is the people in heaven. So, Virayar Podil Venkadavan, a lot of vegetation, beautiful natural scenery are in the Tirupati hills. Therefore, Lord Srinivasa is Venkatavan. Then again, Nimalan, there is no fault in him. Ninmalan, Nidivanavan. So he will always render justice. Nilmadil Arangathamman. Thirumangai Mannan, Thirumangai Alvar built the big wall in Srirangam. So Nilmadil Arangathamman, Srirangam Ranganatha. Tirukkavala Padam Mandu, the lotus-like feet of Sri Ranganatha, Bandu en kannin ullana ukkindade. It goes into my eyes, and I am able to see. Generally, we say the God is visible. No, sorry, God is invisible, and therefore God is visible. Enna bhagyam. So I am so lucky that I am able to look at the Lord with my eyes and look at the divine lotus feet of the Lord. எவ்வகை குற்றமும் அற்றவன் எம்பெருமான் அவனுடைய திருவடி கமலங்கள் தாமே வந்து என் ஊனக்கண்களுக்கு இலக்காய் நிற்கின்றனவே. என்ன பாக்கியம். The previous episode, the connecting episode is he was not allowed to enter into the temple, and when my Lord willed that he must enter into the temple and have his darshan, and rather Tiruppanazhvar became one with him. He did not come out of the sanctum sanctorum after singing the song Amalanadipira. And Lokasaranga Muni, when he wanted to take water from the Kaveri river, he went to the bank of the river, and then Tiruppanazhvar was standing with the closed eyes, praying to the Lord that he could not go in because of his caste bringing up. And then Lokasaranga Muni, seeing him standing on the way, he took a small stone and threw it at him. The very night, the same night, Lord was found by Lokasaranga Muni, meaning the priest of the temple, that the blood was oozing out from his eyes. And therefore, in the night, when he had a dream, he was asked to bring Tiruppanazhvar, carrying him on his shoulders and then Tirupanavar could come into the sanctum sanctum. He made 10 songs, composed 10 songs, and it is all about the head to foot description of the divine figure, Sri Ranganatha. Here you see the another next Thiruvaimozhi, first song. That is also first one, he is also first one. So, Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Yavanavan, Mayarvara Madinalam Arulinan Yavanavan, Ayarvarum Amararul Adipati Yavanavan, Tuyaradu Shudaradi, Torudu Yan Manani, Yedu Yan Manani. So, Thiruvaimozhi 111, yeah, we have to see the Anangaracharya's commentary for both Amalanadipiran 1 and Thiruvaimozhi 111.
Amalan Harisuttanai Adi Dhakkara Bhudanai Piran Ubakaranai Upakarakanai Enna Vikulataana Ennai அடியார்க்கு தனது அடியார்களான பாகவதர்களுக்கு ஆட்படுத்தகையாலே வந்த விமலன் சிறப்புகளை உடையவனாய் விண்ணவர்கோன் நித்திய சூரிகற்கு தலைவனாய் இருந்து வைத்து ஆசிரியதற்காக இன்னார் பொழில் பரிமளமிக்க சோலைகளையுடைய வேங்கடவன் திருவேங்கடமலையில் வந்து தங்குபவனாய் நிமலன் ஆசிரியருக்கு ஐயனாய் இருக்கிறாகிற குற்றமற்று
ஆசிரித பாரதந்திரியத்தை
வெளியிட்டு நின்மலன் அடியாருடைய குற்றத்தை காண்பியாகிற தோஷமில்லாத வத்சலனாய் நீதிவானவன் சேஷசேஷி முறை வழுவாதபடி நியாயமே செல்லும் இளமான பரமபதத்துக்கு நிர்வாகனாய் நீள்மதில் உயர்ந்த மதில்களை உடைய அரங்கத்து கோயிலே
கண் வளர்ந்தருளுகிற
அம்மான் சுவாமியான அழகிய மணவாளனுடைய திருக்கமல பாதம் திருவடி தாமரையானவை வந்த தானே வந்தோ என் கண்ணின் ஒக்கின்றே என் கண்ணுக்குள்ளே புகுந்தனை போல்
The perfect first Lord is the radiant King of the celestials and resident of Venkatam, surrounded by fragrant groves. His golden rule is just and blemishless. He made me a slave of his devotees. He is the Lord of Arangam, surrounded by lofty walls. Oh, his auspicious lotus feet have come to stay in my eyes.
The special point here is Lord Ranganatha made Tirupanalvar as a slave to the devotees. Adiyarku aatpadutha. And again, Ninmalan gives us that the devotees' mistakes are not recognized by the Lord. So these are two very important points. And Tirupanavara feels very lucky that he is able to come into the temple, have darshan of the divine feet of the Lord. So the next one, 1.1.
என் மனனே எனது மனமே உயர்வு அற தன்னை பார்க்கிலும் உயர்த்தி இல்லாதபடி உயர்ந்த நலம், ஆனந்தம் முதலிய கல்யாண குணங்களை உடையவன், சுயமாக உடையவனாவான். எவனவன், யாவனொருவனோ மயர்வு அற அஞ்ஞானம் நசிக்கும்படி மதிநலம் ஞானத்தையும் பக்தியையும் அருளினான் அடியேனுக்கு கிருபை பண்ணினவன். எவனவன், யாவனொருவனோ அயர்வு அரும் மறுப்பு இல்லாத அமரர்கள் நித்திய சூரிகளுக்கு அதிபதி எவன்? சுவாமி யாவனொருவனோ அவன் அந்த எம்பெருமானது துயரறு சுடரடி துயர் அறப்பெற்ற சூதிமயமான திருவடிகளை தொழுது வணங்கி எழு, நீ கடைத்தேற கடவை.
Arise, O heart, worship the feet of the one who is higher than the highest good, who is the Lord of the ever wakeful celestials, who dispels all doubt and grants pure knowledge.
So here the basic point, Nammalvar, it seems he tried to count the number of qualities of the Lord. And then when he failed, he said, Uyarvara Uyarnalam Udayavan Evano. That's what Annagaracharya Swami says in the middle of the explanation. Alappadarkariya Permayi Udayavan. He has got greatness unmeasurable, immeasurable by any scale. So here, in this page of Tattva Matrika, we have the principle of the God's Swarupam. The Swarupam is being explained here in this page 49.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராகிய பூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத் வெங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்த தேசிகம் கவிதார்க்கிக சிம்மாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேசாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமக. பாதித்விவ சிரோபங்க பஞ்சான பராக்கிரமா ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதாய இரம் விஜயதாம்புவி சீரொன்று திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்ரம் ஞான வைராக்ய பூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்த தேசிகம். கவிதார்க்கிக சிம்ஹாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேஷாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமஹ. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய.